bit of a preview of our season. As you know, we're having our home opener this weekend against JU and UConn, which is great. It's the first time our team will be going down the race course full tilt, no rate caps, no nothing, and we'll see where we stand up against some pretty good competition. All of the competitions we're doing this year is mostly preparation for the Big 12 championship. So we're really thankful that JU and UConn could come out and race us in our home. From there, we're going to go and head to Sunshine State, the Sunshine State Invitational, and we're really excited. It'll be the first time we see some competition from the Big 12 and get a sense of what it's like racing 8 boats across, which we don't get here. It'll be 2 or 3 here. It's been really impressive to see our senior class this year and how they've kind of transitioned in the fall till now. When they started the year, they had to learn an entirely new system with me coming in as a new head coach, and they were learning that alongside the freshmen and the sophomores. So it's been really impressive to see in the last few weeks, now that they feel like they know how to contribute, they understand what we're looking for in terms of attitude and effort, that they are now really taking the reins and driving the team forward, which has been great. And we're definitely going to need that as we head to the Big 10 Invitational. Going to that race currently right now, based on the beginning of the preseason poll, at that race, every team we're going to see there is either ranked in the top 25 or was also receiving votes. So we're going to be the only team that's not part of the top. We're the only team currently not in the top 25 coaches poll in the country right now. So that is going to be a really good test of our speed. And then from there, we head to our only really travel race at the Big 10 invite, or the Lake Wheeler invite up in North Carolina. There are going to be multiple teams that are in the top 10, top 15 in the country. And I think that's good for this year, for the team to see like what the speed is, but then also for the development for our younger classmen to see, okay, years looking forward, that's the speed we're going to need heading into the 24, 25, and 25, 26 seasons. We've had some really good leadership and power coming from our freshman and sophomore class. Hannah Lovejoy, Inez Martin, Brigitte Kapler, and Coco Detre have all been incredibly helpful in determining the team's speed this year. So we're excited about that. We're excited for the Big 12 championship this year. If we can get into the top 3 in any boat, if we can get on the podium in any boat, I think that will be a really good step forward and a momentum shift for the program. And then in future years, looking towards the NCAA championship. So I'm excited.
Questions?
Yeah.
So you said that you were the new head coach. New head coach as in when, and how hard was it to transition from where you were to coming into here?
It's a great question. I started in June, late June. I got hired, and I moved out here in August. So working over the summer was mostly from the University of Texas, where I'd been the last 9 years. I was the associate head coach there. We'd won the national championship 2 out of the last 3 years. So it had been quite a successful run. Taking over this program, I knew it was going to be a challenge in a lot of ways, but it's been incredibly exciting to see the growth and the development and obviously the women at Texas cared a ton as well, and seeing how much these women care and want to be good at this and have really put in their best work. It feels honestly like a lot of responsibility on my end, because they want to be good at this. They want to do the work. They want to do what is necessary, and having the responsibility of leading them and telling them what to do and making sure we're taking the right steps forward is a big responsibility, and I'm ready for it. So game on.
Welcome to Orlando, Coach.
Thank you.
So what made you decide to take the job in the first place and make the leap from becoming from an assistant associate to a head coach for the first time in your career?
Yeah, that's a good question. It wasn't something I necessarily planned on doing in my career. I was really, really happy at the University of Texas, and the coach that I coached with there, he was my coach in college, so it was a really comfortable situation. But when I met with the people at UCF, I realized like it's such a good athletic department and how much the administration really cares. I think a few things with that, a lot of the administrators were coaches or a part of coaching staffs. They aren't people that just came up through the administrative side, so it felt like they really understood what coaches need and what need to support our student athletes. And then, so meeting with the people was really big, and then just seeing how well resourced we are for a Division I rowing team. Like, we have great water to row on. We get to row all year round. We have our own boathouse. We're 10, 15 minutes away from campus. I really do feel like there's no reason we can't be successful in this sport. We have no roadblocks other than how hard we're willing to work and how much fun we can make the student athlete experience. Yeah.
How would you describe the character of the team overall, especially this graduating senior class?
Yeah, I think this graduating senior class especially has had to show a lot of character in the last year. It was, I would say, there have been some pretty big lows and some pretty big highs, and learning how to taper that off and making it just good day in and day out. So the resilience that they're learning has been really impressive to watch. I think from the very beginning of the year till now, I think the best way to describe the group is like they care so much, and they're so proud to row for UCF and how to move all of that energy in the right direction. And so they've become incredibly competitive and incredibly supportive, so that even on their worst days, it's not that bad because they have each other building them up all the time. And I think you need that to be incredibly successful, not just, okay, I'm gonna competitive, I wanna go as fast as I can, here I go, but okay, what's happening when maybe I'm feeling a little bit off? What's happening when I'm not having the best day or my best performance? Like, the support of the team around them is what's gonna get them through those moments. Yeah.
Good morning, Coach. What is the mindset that you're trying to input on your players in preparation for the championship? What are you telling them from your coaching experience so they can succeed at the championship?
Yeah, the biggest thing for them to understand is like they have complete control over the situation. Like, we can't control what the other boats do, but there's no defense in rowing. There's no, like, we don't have to play multiple games and tons of different teams to just like practice. Okay, if they do that, we do this. But like, we have to go 1x2K as fast as we can. And they have to learn how to dig deep, to be in a lot of pain, and to say, I don't care, I'm gonna go harder anyway because it's worth it. And every one of them is incredibly competitive and is incredibly compassionate, but we also all have fears and doubts and nervousness, and when we feel vulnerable, sometimes we don't act the right way. So learning how to quiet down all of those parts of our personalities and just focus on the best part of ourselves to get us through 1x2K at max. And if we can do that, like if they can do that, they're gonna be really happy with the result, because I want them, that's at the end of the day, that's what matters, that they are really proud of what they did and they're proud of each other, and that it's more, it's like you'd rather lose with people you really respect than win with people you don't. Well, you have already, so yeah.
You have a lot of experience in the Big 12 coming from Texas. What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for this group as they make the jump from the American?
I mean, it's handling, hearing the names. I think like being in a race with a team like Texas, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Alabama, like that, those teams have done well, and especially Texas being the national champion from 2 years ago. Sometimes that just knowing that can throw people off their game. So feeling confident about what we're gonna do, and that we're gonna do what we do really well, and that can't affect the other team. So I think it's like handling just the emotional side of race day and not letting any of the noise distract from what we're setting out to do. Yeah. So we'll go behind you. Yeah.
From the Big 12, what's the biggest piece of advice you could give to your team heading into their first season in Big 12?
That everyone's human. So like at the end of the day, like we're all nervous, they're all nervous. Like no one is above that this is hard and that this can be scary, and that it's like those kids are not any different than our kids, even though they're all adults. But just like that sense of like we're all trying to do the same thing, but don't know if this sounds bad, but like no one's more special or less special. Like it's not any different than if you're racing like a really fast team or a really slow team. It is 1x2K at max. So I think that's just knowing that those women train hard and they work hard, but we can train hard and work hard too. Yep.
Okay, got it. Just want to make sure. So, not only is you mentioned Texas being a national champion, but they have dominated the Big 12 championship over the course of its existence. I think only 2 times they've ever lost one, and it was to
Yeah.
Oklahoma. So what do you bring from a program like Texas? What do you want to bring from that program over here to UCF?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that was really clear at Texas, like the team very much focuses on attitude and effort. Like they don't focus on other teams. They don't focus on what someone else is doing or what training someone else is doing. It's like, what can we do with the team that we have to make the most out of it? And even in the early years, like when we started at Texas, like they hadn't won the year before, and it was so much more about what we're gonna do in our lane than it is about what another boat is gonna do. So as much as yes, Texas is gonna be great and the other schools that I mentioned are gonna be strong, we have to focus on us. And that, if they can understand that and learn that lesson, and I can bring that lesson to them, I will feel like I've been somewhat successful, because we are not gonna be successful as a team if we're worried about what everyone else is doing.
What brought you here from Texas? What brought you from Texas here to Florida, to UCF specifically?
Probably Tim Allen, he's my boss. Yeah, he wouldn't stop pestering me. But honestly, it was it was clear that the university or the athletic department wanted their rowing team to have a coach that they trusted and they knew, and they had done their research and they felt that I was a good fit for it, and the fact that they were aggressive about trying to get me, even though I had no intention of moving. It was nice seeing an athletic department care so much about rowing, to be honest. And
Do you feel like you're a good fit?
I do. It's been really comfortable in a great way. Like within the athletic department, with all of the people, it's been a really easy transition. Challenging in terms of getting the team heading in the right direction and making sure we were doing all the things and the stresses of being a head coach. They're not new. I've seen them all, and I knew that they were coming. But now just living it that's real. It's a little bit different, but I'm so happy to be here. I'm so glad that I didn't realize how good of a fit this was until I got here.
How have you been able to bring the team together and just form good chemistry in your first year?
It's a good question. Some of it is through just when they suffer together, they get closer. So when they're successful and when they're going really hard and it hurts a lot, and they do something and accomplish something together, that's, I think, one of the best team building exercises there is. So something the head coach at Texas used to say all the time was like, we don't have to do team bonding trips because rowing is team bonding. Like it's the best team bonding there is. So that, and then also just helping them understand that leadership is not telling people what to do. Leadership is helping people be their best self. And I think that's where I think the seniors and juniors have really come a long way in understanding that it's not about being like, oh, I'm older than you, so I know more, but I'm older than you, so I can help. And if we have everyone on the team doing that, we're going to be in a good spot.
Last question.
So you can talk about coming in as a first year head coach here and installing a new system. I want to know, what did that fully entail? Was there ever a moment that it seemed like everything started to click for the team as a whole?
I thought you were going to ask if there was a moment you thought it was going to collapse as a whole. Yes, there were plenty of those. Yeah, it's been ups and downs. Like in the fall, and then to throw another hair in it, I was 20 weeks pregnant when I took the job. So I gave birth to my second son on November 2nd.
Okay.
So they did their final land testing, which is a 6,000 meter erg, the day after I gave birth. And I wasn't there obviously, but I just remember being in the hospital and I got the results, and it was clear that there had been just so many PRs and so much, and I was just like, oh God, I hope that they were happy with it, because looking at the scores objectively, it felt like that was a really good step in the right direction. And then hearing about it later, it sounded like, yeah, that they really, there was a good energy, there was a good vibe, and then it went well. And it's like, well, yes, that's what we've been trying to instill. And then we hit another bit of a bump in the road coming back from break. But I think honestly, just even the last 4 weeks, 3 weeks, in terms of understanding attitude and effort and how those things really play when we're nervous and we're scared and we're getting into selection, we're getting into race day, but how to really support people when you don't feel the most stable yourself. Was it one more? Yeah.
Obviously, this is just the start of your time here, so you're going to need to recruit other athletes in the future. What type of athletes are you looking for, and how do you think the benchmark will be set this year?
That's a great question. Well, we have a pretty strong recruiting class coming in for a really strong recruiting class coming in for next year. We're really excited about it. It was clear that all of them are like incredibly dedicated to the sport, passionate for hard work, and understand that rowing doesn't just make us better athletes, but better versions of ourselves. And I think if we have that, if we have freshmen coming in with that mindset, that's going to work really well with the team we currently have, and it's going to help elevate us to the next level. We've got athletes coming from all across the world. So we've got one athlete from Australia, another from the UK. We have the Dutch national championship from 2 years. The Dutch national champion from 2 years ago is coming. So it's going to be a really strong class. We are really excited for what's ahead as well.
Thank you.
Great.
One coach.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.